Hello, my name is Evan Quinn. I am a virtual high school student, and this is a day in my schooling life.
Okay. Evan, what time do you get up in the morning?
I usually get up around 8:30.
And what time do you usually start work?
I usually start work around 10.
And why is it that you're not down here working at 8:30?
Well, I'm not a morning person, so
So it takes you a while to get breakfast and you
yeah,
get down to your work, take a shower, etc.
dinner slow.
Okay, generally slow in the morning.
Mm.
Okay. What do you, I see that you have a board behind you with all your work. What do you do when you come in the morning?
Well, first off, I check the board for what subjects I have today and what the intimate details are.
Okay, so what are you going to choose to do today?
I'm going to do history.
Okay. So what would you do if you're going to do history?
Well, I would go to k12.com
Okay.
at the home page. Then I would go to the login screen, type in my username and password to access my materials as me. I'll look at my Kmail to check and see if there's anything I have in my inbox. There is, but I'm not going to check that just yet.
Then you go on to your history course?
Yes, I do. I click on the history link, world history link, which takes me to the access page for the course. I access the course, and I go to the home page. I look at the announcements. There are no new announcements. They've all been read. So I go down to my checklist, click on that link, which brings up the checklist in the course.
And you know you're working on what lesson?
I am working on lesson 8.2.
Okay.
So I will go down through the list looking for 8.2. When I find 8.2, there's nothing checked off on it, so I know that I haven't started anything ahead of time. And it looks like we'll be studying Britain's empire in this particular study. Before I do the actual studies, I click on my study sheets, which allow me to take notes on the subject and helps me focus on what they are wanting me to memorize
Or learn.
or learn.
Okay. Say you're done with history. What
Yeah.
might you do next?
I might do PE next.
Okay, how do you do PE?
Well, it's not that difficult, really. I'll just go. I have to do a half an hour of PE every day, so I'll go for a walk, or if the weather's nicer, I'll ride my bike.
What other activities have you done for PE?
I've gone bowling, and I've gone swimming at the local center.
When you go bowling, do you go with other kids?
Yes, I do.
So sometimes you do your PE with other kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so you're done with, say you're done with PE. What might you do next? Would you look back to your board to find out what's on the agenda?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Why are some of the things in red on your board?
Those are office hours or appointments that I have. On history, there are weekly office hours, and if you attend them, there's a extra credit question that your teacher puts on there.
Okay.
And
And then there's also, you have Mrs. D on Wednesday and Friday. What is that?
That is my geometry teacher, and she helps me with the concepts of geometry and all the different equations if I don't get them.
So she works one-on-one with you for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about the red on the Spanish line?
Those are my Spanish tutors. I have one on Monday and one on Friday.
Okay. How do you interact with the other students in the school?
There are live sessions called Illuminates, and we can connect with the other students. There's microphone privilege so they can hear you speaking. If you have something to say to the whole class, there are text boxes so you can type chat with the students. And there is a drawing board.
Okay. Is there a bulletin board or what? Tell me about that.
Yeah, there are bulletin boards in the classes. Different discussions and such over the materials. And you're graded on how you respond through the other students as well as your original post.
Do you have any other kids you work on projects with?
In my computer literacy class, I have a team of students that I am grouped with, and we work through the materials in the course.
So you work on projects together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you interact with your teacher?
Well, for geometry, I have the weekly, twice a week, I have conferences with my teacher, and the office hours for history. If I need to contact one of my teachers, they have a contact information on the home page.
So you can call them or K-mail them?
Yes.
And they respond quickly?
Usually.
Okay. What is the role of your mom in all of this?
She's like my personal coach. Because the teachers can't always be there, but my mom is always right next to me. So if I get stuck and she knows how to do the thing, she can kind of help me with it.
And if she doesn't know how to do it, what do you do?
I contact my teachers by the phone or email if it's not as urgent.
Okay. And does your mom keep you on task?
Yes, she does.
Okay. What about social interaction? Do you have any social interaction with other kids besides the kids on the bulletin board and Illuminate?
Yes, I do. I have a group of friends that I meet with every Wednesday, and I have to kind of move my schedule around that sometimes.
So your schedule is somewhat flexible?
I have flexible working hours, but my schedule isn't really flexible because I have deadlines. I can do this stuff ahead of time, though.
So you had to learn project management?
Yes.
Okay, so you can juggle your priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think that being in a virtual school is easier?
No.
Do you think that it's harder?
No, I don't think it's any harder. I think it's equal with the traditional schools. You have the same materials to work through, the same tests, the same quizzes.
The same subject matters?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you like to tell the legislators?
I would like them to support virtual schools for full-time education.
Because?
Because there might be some kids that live out in the rural areas.
And they don't have any other educational choices?
Right.
So they need other choices besides the traditional public school?
Right, because they might be too far away.
Okay, from other charter schools or from other options?
Yeah.
Okay, what about other kids? Are there other kids that it might meet their need?
There probably are. Some kids might have medical conditions that keep them out.
Okay. About how many hours a day do you think that you do virtual school?
I would say about 8 hours a day of work, more or less depending on what subjects I'm working through.
But do you take breaks?
Yes, I do. I take breaks. I have a little 3-year-old brother who kind of makes me take breaks sometimes because he needs attention.
And you take lunch whenever you need to have lunch?
Yeah. If I'm working through a subject and I want to get it done and out of the way, then I can work through that and have lunch a little later or earlier than I need to.
Okay, thank you, Evan.